Did you know that in a BBC survey, almost 90% of people said they would kill one person to save five? That sounds logical, right? But wait, what if you had to push one person with your own hands? Then most people change their answer. Why? Today, we explore one of the most famous moral questions in philosophy, the trolley problem. This simple story hides big questions like, what does it mean to do the right thing? Or, is it okay to kill one person to save more? And why does how we do it matter? I'm Mika, and this is what I learned today. So imagine this. A trolley is going very fast. The brakes are broken. On the tracks ahead, there are 5 workers. If nothing changes, they will die. You are standing near the tracks. You see a lever. If you pull it, the trolley will go to a different track. But wait, there's a man working there. If you pull the lever, he will die, but the 5 will live. What would you do? This version of the story was created by philosopher Philippa Foot in 1967. Another philosopher, Judith Jarvis Thomson, made it more famous by adding new versions and asking deeper questions. In ethics, this is known as a utilitarian decision. The best action is the one that creates the most good. In this case, 5 lives are better than 1. Let's try a different version. Now, you are now standing on a bridge above the same track. 5 people are still in danger. But wait, next to you, there's a large man. If you push him onto the track, his body will stop the trolley. He will die. But again, 5 people will live. Same outcome. 1 dies, 5 live. But now, in that same survey, only 10 to 15% of people said they would push him. Why? Because you are using your own body to cause harm. See, it's not just about the results, it's about how we get to the results. Why do most people say yes to pulling the lever, but no when they must push someone? Well, Joshua Green, a professor at Harvard, studied this exact question using brain scans. He found that people use 2 systems to make moral choices. One is emotional, fast, automatic, and strong, and the other is logical, slow, careful, and reasoned. But in the lever version, we are not touching anyone, so it feels less personal. So we use the logical part of the brain. But in the footbridge version, we must push someone with our own hands, and that triggers a strong emotional reaction. In our minds, it feels wrong. This shows that our moral choices are not just about numbers. They're also about feelings, actions, and distance. Green's research also found that using personal force, like pushing someone, makes people much more uncomfortable than using mechanical force, like a lever. So let's change the story up again. A healthy person walks into a hospital for a checkup. In other rooms, 5 patients are dying. They each need different organs. 2 need kidneys, 2 need lungs, and 1 needs a heart. The healthy person is a perfect match. If you take his organs, 5 people live, but he dies. Would you do it? Well, most people say no. Why? Because the healthy person has a right to live. Killing him feels like murder, not just a math problem. Also, this idea creates a very dangerous system where people might not go to the hospital in fear of becoming organ donors against their free will. But this simply just shows that trust, rules, and human rights are also part of our moral choices. These moral questions are not just stories anymore because, see, self-driving cars are becoming real. They are real. Engineers must teach cars how to make decisions in dangerous situations. For example, if a car must crash, should it hit an old person or a child? Should it protect the passenger or save more people outside? These are modern versions of the trolley problem, and now we must give real answers. Some countries like Germany have laws that say humans cannot be used as a means to an end, even if it saves more lives. So philosophy is not just for classrooms, it's for coding, law, and design. Now let's talk about something important, the law. You might think the trolley problem is just a story, but it can also be a legal question. In fact, Many law schools use the trolley problem to teach students about justice, rights, and criminal responsibilities. Let's look at some examples. So imagine this situation really happens. You pull the lever, one man dies, 5 workers live. What would the law say? Well, in many countries, killing a person on purpose is a crime, even if your goal was to save others. But the law also allows something called necessity. This means you can break the law if it is the only way to prevent something worse. So, could pulling the lever be legal? Maybe. A lawyer might argue that you were trying to prevent more deaths, but it's not that simple. The court would probably ask, did you have a choice? Did you act carefully? Was it your job to act? This shows us that intention and context matter. Now let's go back to the hospital story. A doctor kills a healthy patient, like I said, save 5, kill 1 by using his organs. Would that be legal? Clearly, it wouldn't. In every modern legal system, this is murder. Why? Because the doctor directly chose to kill someone who did nothing wrong. The law protects each person's individual rights. If more lives are saved, you can't take someone's body without permission. This is based on the legal idea called human dignity. Every person is important in the world, right? Let's think about robots and cars. Self-driving cars kill someone who is responsible. The passenger, the car company, the programmer. This is a real legal problem. Engineers must write codes that may include the trolley-style decisions. Like I mentioned before, Germany have already written laws for this. One law says it's not allowed to choose who lives and who dies based on age, gender, or health. So what can we learn? The trolley problem teaches us that moral choices are not always legal, and legal choices are not always moral. Laws must protect people's rights, not just results, and even in emergencies, we must act with care, reason, and justice. Some actions feel right in philosophy may still be illegal, and the opposite is also true. Some legal decisions may feel morally wrong. So, what do philosophers say? Utilitarians say save the most people. Numbers matter. Deontologists say some actions are always wrong no matter the result. Don't kill an innocent person. Others say the way we make choices, how we feel, what we intend, and what society values. Joshua Green believes that understanding our brain can help improve our ethics. He supports utilitarian thinking, but also believes we must think deeply and carefully, not just follow our emotions. In the end, it's about being human, how we think, feel, and act in difficult situations. So, what do you think? Would you pull the lever? Would you push the man? These questions are hard but important. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope you learned something. I'm Mikael, and this is what I learned today. Bye.